The grass on our property was looking beautiful, but in the last couple weeks, it's almost completely died. And here in the Smoky Mountains of North Carolina, dealing with erosion is a huge concern, and grass is the best way to combat that erosion. Now, not that long ago, we undertook a massive excavation project to make this build site vastly larger than it was before. But if we're not careful, a huge amount of this progress could just wash away. And now that we're close to winter and this grass is just about completely dead, we have a very small window where we need to get grass growing so we can grow a root network that will protect all of this dirt from erosion once the weather starts to get colder and wetter. So we need to get growing grass and fast, but we gotta do it in a way where it's actually going to take this time. Oh God, slipping. There's some thunder. I showed up this morning to the property, went to go turn on the generator, and it's gone. Whoever stole it left tire tracks. I kinda got a little bit depressed this morning. Now, the banks are almost completely dead. There's some grass that's still alive and that's struggling. The flat is actually doing a lot better. It's hard to see from here, but if you look up close, a lot of the crowns, like a lot of the little grass plants, do have a tiny bit of green still left on them. And so my understanding is they could come back, and there's actually a lot of that here. But for us to be able to stabilize the slope, stabilize all of this dirt here for the winter, we really need to overseed, because the worst time of year for erosion is the winter, because the temperatures drop, and so the ground never fully dries, and it'll spend a huge amount of the winter completely saturated with water. So then when we do get a heavy rain, that ground can't really absorb any more water, and that's when you really start to get bad erosion. And in particular, that front bank needs to stay intact, because if it starts to erode, we're in serious trouble. And so while it might seem like a silly project, like just getting grass on the ground, it's actually one of the most important things that we can do in preparation for the winter. Now, the real reason that the grass died is because we hydroseeded in the summer. It's important to do it. Like, it's not worth waiting until the fall, because you really want to get something going, and there's a chance that the grass will survive into the fall, but there's a chance that it won't, and that chance is somewhat high. And so we had 2 weeks of really hot weather and no rain, and boom, it just got decimated. But this go around, we're not gonna hydroseed, and we're just gonna do everything by hand to save some money. Now, we're basically at the end of September. That's the ideal time here in the Bryson City area for seeding, because the ground is still relatively warm, but the air temperatures are dropping a lot. We probably won't have any really hot stretches, and we should get a fair amount of rain. And so that means that the ground will stay damp longer, and that's what the grass really wants. So I'm basically gonna start with the most important parts of the property and work my way down. And so that's gonna be this front bank here. This front bank is probably the most important part of the project, but it's also, in a way, the simplest, because I'm just gonna throw seed down there by hand. And so I've got a 50-pound bag of bank seed mix, and I actually measured roughly the area here, and this front bank should require exactly a 50-pound bag. So all I'm gonna do is try to spread the seed evenly and use up this whole bag on this area. Now, this bank seed mix is actually a pretty sophisticated mix of grasses of different species. What I've learned is that different species of grass have different traits that matter. And so they make a sophisticated mixture so that some are gonna grow quick to create a shelter for the other seeds, some are gonna grow slow but have really deep roots, and some are gonna spread over time. So I'm looking at how the seed is laying onto the surface, and there's some kind of compacted, flat, steep bits that the seed is kind of sliding down off of. I was told it's not a bad idea to rake the surface a little bit in preparation for the seed, so I might be kind of mucking up the top layer here a little bit by doing this after I put seed down. But at the same time, I was told that it's not a bad idea to rake lightly after you put the seed down, because it ensures good seed to soil contact. And I was saying that we're doing this at the ideal time of year, early fall, but it's also the ideal time generally, because it's rained a lot the last couple days, but not much in the last 24 hours. So the soil is nice and damp, but not saturated. It's looser than it would be otherwise. And the seeds to activate and germinate want to contact moisture. So it's just a really good situation right now. I was also told to go horizontal with the rake so that the little ledges that it creates will catch the seeds instead of creating little rivers for them to run down when it rains. So I also want to rake just the very edge of the flat here. Very little seed took on the border between the flats and the bank. So this is a prime area to rake up because I won't disturb any existing grass. And my buddy, Craig, who helped me with a lot of this, suggested I try using a cinder block and a rake, and hopefully the weight of the cinder block will help make it so all I need to do is drag the rake. I don't know, Craig. Not working out for me as well as it did for you. Let's just try it the old-fashioned way. So here's an interesting step. So I was filling up my bucket with seed and I spilled a bit. You don't want a big pile of seed because that could get infested with fungus and then that fungus could spread. And my buddy Craig was saying to use a blower to spread it out. Sweet. Nice one, Craig. Now that I've scuffed all this up, I'm gonna go back and just put a little bit more seed here on the very top area and the areas that I scratched up. Now there's a decent amount of this bank that I just can't throw far enough to, so I'm gonna walk down and then do a lap from like the midpoint. Okay, that's it for seed on the front bank. So now I got fertilizer. We need a whole lot less of this than the seed. And in fact, it's kind of important that we don't over fertilize because that can be a problem. So I gotta try my best to get the correct amount. Whoa, that's heavier. Oh my gosh. Well, that seemed extremely imprecise. I definitely see the appeal of hydro seeding because it's like, you know that for the most part, every square inch that you're spreading the seed and everything, you've got the right ratio of fertilizer, lime, and seed and water, right? You're like getting an initial watering in. And I was hoping that it would rain today and it's starting to clear up. But anyway, that went very fast. The fertilizer kind of was heavy, so it bounced down. So I didn't actually need to go down there. Yeah. There's fertilizer there now, cool. And last step is lime. So I actually did a quick soil pH test. It was like a do-it-yourself at-home test. And it said that the soil is actually pretty darn good, but a little bit acidic. And so that means that we could use a little bit more lime. Now, a little bit is actually a lot because you need a lot of lime to change the pH of the soil. So I've calculated 20 pounds of lime for this lower bank. Man, I don't know what it is, but this stuff smells really good. Isn't it just limestone? I don't know. Maybe they extract the lime out of limestone. Whatever it is, it smells good, dude. I like it. Okay, so next step is I've got these double net straw erosion blankets. Basically, this is just straw, right? Like hay that's woven into netting. Now this will serve as mulch. And mulch, I mean, all it does is it basically protects the seeds. So it makes it so that rain doesn't dislodge the seeds. Otherwise, all the seeds might just run all the way to the bottom. Makes it so that direct sunlight doesn't heat up the seeds too much. I'm like very curious to see how this is gonna go. I guess I'm just gonna tack it and roll it. I don't know, dude, it might roll out of control. I might need to like do a controlled roll. What do you think, Oso? Huh? You think we should just tack it and let that boy rip? Let's roll this back up a little. The last thing I want to happen here is for this thing to go rolling before I'm ready. Then we're gonna use these metal staples that are designed for tacking this stuff down. Oh boy, okay, here we go. Whoa. Oh God, slipping, slipping, slipping. Wow, okay, so you didn't even get to see half of that, but so you can see, nice little straw blanket all the way down. And it didn't crash and burn as bad as I thought it might. So I gotta go down there, cut it, bring the roll back up here and do it again. One thing is, I do need to add staples at the bottom as well as on the whole blanket going up. Oh my gosh, some of this is like too steep to actually climb. This side's a little easier. Dude. A bug just flew into my throat and I swallowed it. Whoa. Okay. This part is gonna suck, man. Going down and up the slope multiple times, carrying this thing back up. Better just get at it, dude. Better get going. I might try to do the staples as it's going down this time. Kill two birds with one stone. This is so precarious, dude. I'm like on the verge of slipping at every second. Guess I don't need to do that side because I'll do that with the next one. So there you go, Jordan. Now you're thinking. Ta-da! Nearly effortless. Let's do it again. Well, one nice thing is the slope is less steep over here and it's shorter. Oh yeah, I can hear some rain coming. That is good news, man. But it is getting late and I've still got a decent amount to do, so I gotta freaking move, man. Yes, hallelujah, bring the rain. Oh, I'm so happy about that. All right, well, this one didn't quite make it, so I'll have to do a shorty here. At this point, I'm doing a bit of triage, just trying to get as much covered as I can before the day ends. So I want to take a minute to tell you about the sponsor of today's episode, MyHeritage. They sell these awesome DNA kits that can basically tell you about your ancestry, like where your ancestors are from, as well as to connect you with distant relatives. And they're selling this kit to our viewers for just 29 bucks. Now, I did mine a couple weeks ago. I just want to say I'm really excited about this. I'd love to know, like, where did my ancestors actually decide to leave their homes to try to find opportunity across an entire ocean that I happen to sail across myself, which is kind of cool. So I can't wait to see what they've got here. Jordan, are you ready to explore your ethnicity? So I'm just about 20% Germanic, 16% Dutch, 15% Scottish and Welsh. Oh, 14% Eastern European, and 35% other. That is actually hilarious. That the single highest ethnicity for me is like, kind of everywhere. So you guys should definitely give MyHeritage a try. They're awesome. They're actually running a special promotion just for you guys, just for viewers of this channel. So if you click the link in the description below or scan the QR code and use the coupon code PROJECT, you can get the DNA kit for just 29 bucks, which is way cheaper than you're gonna find with other companies. So definitely give it a try. All right, so this is the only real complicated part because there's like a corner here. Whoa, the slope goes that way and then it goes that way. And so I can't just do like parallel lines for the corner. So I'm just gonna nail the corner itself and then end up with some weird shapes on either side, but I think that'll be all right. Oh God. I am so on the verge of just totally slipping right now. Oh, holy shit. I took the hard way up. I'm gonna get this to work, okay. I want to. Oh my gosh. I just got no grip here. I don't know if you're gonna get this one. I'm sure this doesn't look steep to you at all, but it's just, it feels almost like I'm doing this while rock climbing. And I'm almost creating my own footholds, just like by gouging into the slope. Oh, I don't think I got enough of these staples. Oh, it's happening. Oh, God. It's my last staple. Might just gotta let this one go. If I go get more staples, this thing's gone. Of course, it's on the steepest freaking part. Fuck. Oh. Whoa, dude. That last one was nuts. I've actually got to stop for the day. That's as much as I can do today. Luckily, I got the vast majority of the bank covered. Some of it is seeded without mulch. So whereas I was really hoping for rain, now I'm hoping we don't get a downpour because those areas the seed could just kind of get wiped out, you know? Yeah, we'll see how everything looks tomorrow. Wow, I'm tired today, dude. I was actually sick a couple days ago, so I don't think I really recovered the way I should have. We luckily didn't get any strong rains last night. We got a little drizzle, which is, you know, good, but we are gonna have a couple days without a whole lot of rain, which is a little bit concerning, but in 3 days right now, the forecast is saying that we should have like multiple days of rain. And so I think it should work out okay. I think it's okay. Everybody relax. But I've got to get this straw mat on. So first thing to do today, this mat doesn't have staples in a lot of it. This part of the slope is seriously like rock climbing. I need like ice climbing shoes with like spikes in them. Oh my God. I basically just have to lay down. Dude, freaking ridiculous, man. Okay, here it goes. Whoa! Don't fall backwards. There's some thunder. Better get this done quick. I wonder if I could have skewed it that way. Oh, I totally could have if I didn't put those. Damn it. I think I might go up there and pull those last couple out. Nice. That's sweet. Well, here comes the rain. There could be a lot of it. Might just keep working through it. Ah! Ow! So far, it's raining just the right amount. Fingers crossed it keeps going like this. Once this matting is on, then like bring it. All the rain we can get, I'll take. And I chose to do this project because hopefully today, tomorrow, the next day, all next week, this is kind of what we're looking at. So keep it up, rain. Everything's really wet. I'm pretty much done with all the really steep and hard stuff. This side is a lot gentler of a slope. I'm on the home stretch. So yesterday I was able to finish the erosion control blankets, and that was a hell of a project, dude. That was way more labor intensive than I thought it was gonna be. It rained a lot, but not too much, so I'm feeling really good about that grass. But I showed up this morning to the property and went to go turn on the generator, and it's gone. The generator normally lives right here in the tent shed. Now, I'm able to secure the main shed, so anything that goes in there is locked, and so you'd have to like do damage to break in. But sometimes I let the generator run overnight because I need to upload footage overnight, because like we produce a ton of footage, it takes forever to upload. And we're still not connected to the grid yet. We're close, but we're not there yet. Because it rained last night, whoever stole it, you know, left tire tracks. And I can tell that they like cruised up and did a circle on the property slowly, and then pulled up right next to the tent shed, and then left quickly because they kind of dug into the mud and did another circle and left. Yeah, so I never drive on this area because of the grass. And so here you can see one of the light tire tracks, and then here's the one that's heavy, and that is the one where they like left in a hurry. And so I think what they were doing is just kind of cruising up, and then if I was here or someone was here, they would have just been like, oh, you know, I'm lost, or hey, just want to say hi. And then they saw the generator because it was just right there, and they were like, okay, I'm gonna grab that thing. And we've had a number of people just kind of cruise up, just like kind of say hello, or say that they were lost and looking for another lot. So, I mean, that's a huge bummer. Honestly, like I kind of got a little bit depressed this morning. Like this whole project right now, like I feel like we were making so much progress, and lately it's felt like 2 steps forward, 1.8 steps back. We're barely inching ahead, like with how the grass died, and I'm redoing it, and it's more labor intensive this time. So long story short, first of all, today I need to go get a new generator because I can't use my computer, I can't upload footage, I can't recharge batteries, and I'm also going to vamp up the security here at the lot. So this is our driveway leading to the property, and eventually I want to make a gate here, like an electric, really robust, strong gate. But that's going to be kind of an involved project. It would take a while. I do think there's a good temporary fix here. I'm just going to do like a chain that goes across the driveway to 2 posts. And those posts will be temporary. I feel like this is like silly, right? Like you could easily just remove this chain and get through, but completely changes the dynamic where no one can get in there in an innocent fashion. You can't have an excuse for why you're there. I honestly think that that would solve a huge percent of the potential security issues that we could have here. It's already a little bit late. I spent a huge amount of time at Lowe's today. I spent a huge amount of time trying to organize a new generator. So I'm gonna see if I can bang this project out this evening. Okay, so check it out. We've got a chain gate. I think this is gonna work really well. I can't believe I threw this together this quick. I've worked on this for like 2 hours. So I've got some other security things that I'm setting up that I'm just not gonna show you guys, but suffice to say, I'm feeling a lot better. I will feel a whole lot better even more once we move on to the property. Once people have to deal with us potentially being there or actually being there. Like when that's a threat, I think the game changes completely. All right, so I actually called around to a couple friends in the area to ask if they knew of a good place to buy a generator. My buddy Craig said that he had a Honda generator just around the right size that I needed that he was looking to sell. So I was able to get like a good price on a used unit. That happens so often where you can get really unlucky and the next minute you get real lucky, you know? So Craig just showed up. I love your rig, dude. Is this your generator delivery rig?
Yeah, it's the easiest to turn around rig at the moment.
Yeah, nice one. All right, so there she is. That's the beauty. Well, thank you so much, Craig. You are a lifesaver, dude.
Oh, well, enjoy it, take care of it, and I will see you later on.
See you, buddy. Suffice to say that this week did not go according to plan. I was hoping to get all of the grass done in like 3 days basically. And instead it took me 2 days just to do this forward bank. And then I had to deal with getting another generator and all that. So this week was just frustrating in every sense. Like, it's frustrating that I have to redo the grass project at all. And it's frustrating that it took way longer than I thought. And it's frustrating that we got something stolen, but I feel like I've kind of come out onto the other side of that. And I've got kind of a new plan for the grass. So today we got a lot of rain, which is good, but we were supposed to get a lot of rain this entire week, and it's not looking like that's gonna be the case. We've got 0 rain for like a couple days. Basically, there was a depression that was supposed to pass through this area that just isn't going to anymore. That means that there's no real point for me to do the flats and then that back bank at this point. Now, if we had the well up and running, then dry spells wouldn't be a problem because we could just water the grass with a sprinkler. So what I've decided is that we need to just move on to this freaking property. You may have noticed that the last couple episodes that we've released, I've been doing kind of like side projects. I keep getting pulled away from our main project of trying to move on to the land. And a lot of the reason for that is I was planning on digging all of the trenches for the power, water, and sewer all myself. So I would have to learn how to use a mini excavator and then lay all those lines and then bury it all. And so I've been trying to find like an entire week that has like good weather that I can rent the mini excavator and have it that whole time. And every week for like the last month, I've either had to travel for something or I've had other things taking up some of my time. I've decided to work with my buddies Cody and Dakota from Ellis Earthworks and Custom Homes, and they're actually gonna come in a couple days and help me dig all the trenches and get everything set up so that we can start living on this freaking property. Now, a big goal for me with this whole endeavor is to do as much of the work myself as I can, but I'm just realizing that now is just not the time for that. Like, once we live on this property, then the pressure will be off. There won't be such intense time constraints, and I can slowly do everything myself. So while our luck with the weather, our luck with stuff getting stolen, our luck with how long this project took was a bummer, I feel like it was the catalyst, like the push that I needed to finally make this next massive leap to calling this land our home. So from the ashes of this crappy week, I've got a new plan. I'm super motivated. I'm excited. We've got a couple days of good weather, and with any luck, we will be living on this land very shortly. So thanks for watching. And don't forget to click the link in the description and use coupon code PROJECT to get your MyHeritage DNA kit for just 29 bucks. And as always, a huge thanks to our patrons. You guys are amazing. Without you, we would not be able to make these videos. Thank you so much. Now we're cooking with gas. Come on, baby. Where are we at here? Oh, we're there. I was just having so much fun. Just didn't even realize we were that deep.